Hey folks, my name's Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Bootser. Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name's Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored. So, come to find out, I did not cover all of Perico. I had mistakenly thought that I'd done a couple of video clips that I did not do, and it was pointed out very astutely by my editor, I might add. And that's a plus for you, because you know what? It's time for Periquito, Periquito. Every time I hear that song now, I think about Ralph Ochoa. So let's get to it, folks. For those of you who don't know, so if you're just tuning into the channel, Ralph Rocha is a Mexican Mafia member. He's from Norwalk, California. They call him Perico, right? He got involved in extortion. He was involved in 1995 RICO activities in the United States of America versus Alex Aguirre et al. And went to prison. He got out and picked up and started doing business. He participated in an extortion and got caught. The girls wearing a wire. So this is the interview where he's debriefing. He's cooperating with law enforcement. He's seen the writing on the wall. They told him he was going to do a life sentence for extortion, and he sure was going to do a life sentence for extortion. So let's watch this segment of the debrief, and we'll unpack it as it goes. Here we go.
They had him. He's like, well, what do you want? So Gibby starts trying to tell me over the phone, him and Sleepy, hey, you know, this Vato got a lot of shit. This is how I find out he was slinging all this weed. Ooh. And I remember telling him, take care, you know, hey, we'll take care of your old lady while you're...
That is the first woo of the evening, folks.
Gone. So I'm like, whatever. So I left that to them. So when I got out, now I meet Mike. Mike tells me, hey, check it out. Negro had propositioned him to buy him off me. You know what I mean? I'm like, you don't belong to me. You know what I mean? He goes, well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying you're my homeboy, and I want to look out for you and Gibby and this and that, right? And I'm like, well, whatever. You know, I didn't think, but it was good to know that you know, I started seeing some of the...
Did he give you the money to basically pay you off so that you didn't have to beat him up? Is that what happened? Essentially?
You know, he used to kick money, but it wasn't, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got money off him.
What was his motivation for giving you the money?
I think what he was doing was getting bigger. He was selling weed and moving around, moving more. Because I think when I did finally run into him, he was picking up like 85 pounds at a time.
Right, that still doesn't answer my question. What was his motivation for giving you the money?
What was his motivation?
Yeah, why did he give you this money?
That's what what I'm thinking of. What would be his motivation is he wanted to kind of... We were getting bigger. We were expanding. He was close by. We're going to find out where he's at. He heard we're looking. He used to be from Norwalk. So his motivation, if I had to guess, would be that we're going to find out sooner or later about him. He might as well come to the table himself.
Okay, so he gave some to you in the expectation that if you caught up to him first, you'd take more than he gave you.
Yeah, well, he didn't come to me. He came like behind my back.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess if he came to... I guess he figured when I got busted...
I think Perico's thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I not take responsibility for this? I mean, let's face it. The dude came, he paid money, he got protection. That's all he has to say. He's got immunity. I don't know why he's hesitating. But I get it. I've been on the hot seat. You know, you try to think around the questions, and not that I wasn't fully forthcoming, but it's still something to be on your first debrief, and you're worried about everything you say coming back and biting you in the ass, right? So I think that's what he's going through right here, the initial throes of debriefing. This is his initial debrief. Remember that, folks.
If he came to these guys, they would make it easier for him to come back around because he was working with them.
That's called diplomacy.
Yeah.
So, but do you think that's what his motivation was? Is he feared that if he stayed on the run and you caught up with him, you would take a lot more from him than if he worked his way through to you?
Yeah,
and therefore So he wasn't giving it out of the kindness of his heart.
No, not at all.
All right, perfect.
He's
So-
doing damage control with you, probably.
No question. You know what I mean? He was older, and I don't see why he'd be scared of me, because this dude, from growing up, he used to be a gangbanger. You know what I mean? And he put in a lot of work and did his things. So I don't know. You know, I know I might. It's not that I'm trying to diminish my role or anything like that, but even though I carried that, whatever you want to say, the hand, I still functioned as me. You know, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't make me big-headed.
When did you get the tattoo, by the way?
This last time I was in the feds.
Okay. Did you ever have any Mexican Mafia tattoos when you were in the state?
No,
None at all.
no.
That's why they didn't know who you were.
Who?
Remember when you were talking about?
No, it's because it's not that they didn't know who I was. That I was so young.
What was that a choice? I mean, was that your choice? Do you have to get the hand if you don't want?
Actually, no. I had a choice of either putting a big parrot right here, but it was gonna take up too much of my neck, and we couldn't figure it out. And actually, I think that's when Coke came out with that hand on the Coke can, and I seen it, and the dude said, "Hey, how about this?" Wino, from Turlock. He was a norteño in the feds, because I was looking for patterns. I'm like, well, what do you think? So he drew it up and put it. I said, does it cover? He's like, yeah. I'm like, go ahead.
What is that covering?
My ex-wife's Diane, my
Diane.
first kid's mom.
I don't think that tattoo covers anything. It looks like a big splotch of ink right there, right? That's probably one of the worst hands I've seen a couple bad ones. Some really bad ones. Like Weddle Sherm's is pretty bad. It's got 2 thumbs on it.
So I had put it just like, just covering her name, like a slap. So I didn't actually, my motive wasn't like to glorify the inmate right there. So it was more like just put whatever fitted. That parrot was too damn big. I couldn't really find that. I couldn't really put writing over it because it had to come like this. I wanted to collage my neck, so I'm like, I wasn't trying to do that. And honestly, I was actually in the process of getting it removed.
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't really. I knew it was I'm like, oh fuck. I knew I fucked up. I was like, man, I should have, on my neck,
DIANA.
Yeah, DIANE.
Right.
And, so anyways, I get out and Mike tells me about Negro and them propositioning. Hey, they Negro offered me I think he said $80,000 if he would start working with him. And I remember I told Mike, I remember we're in his front yard, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't belong to me. You know what I mean? He goes, no, well, we're homeboys, so I'm going to work with you and this and that. I'm like, I didn't get it. But it was good, something I kept in my head. I'm like, these motherfuckers are going behind my back. You know what I mean? And I had told Mike, I was like, you can do whatever you want, Holmes. He goes, nah. So I hang out with him. But we're going to the shop. We're going to the auto body shop that my homeboy Tony owns. Going back and forth there. I meet some girl there, Kareen, that ended up being my second wife. Real casual girl. She going to college. She was just there. I don't know. She was with one of Tony's girlfriend's friends. I met her. We hook up. We move into. I leave my old lady because I don't really stay there. You know what I mean? So, but Diane gets pregnant. But I'm already with Kareem. I hook up with my homeboy Spanky. He got out. So I hooked back up with Champ and them dudes from Orange County, and I started getting carga going again. So now I start putting carga here and there. Start, slowly trying to get back in the mix.
The Champ that he's mentioning that's Raymond Mendez up in the feds from Orange County.
When I got out that time, China Boy was made already. There was a lot of issues about that, Me and Negro talked about killing him. Gibi, because we were taking his shit. So we're like, how could we take his shit and then become a carnal? How does that work, Smilon and Pee Wee pushed that, because he was beneficial to them, to whatever they were doing. So that's how
Let me break that down for you. Smilon and Pee Wee would use China Boy to deal drugs to my homeboys in Artesia and place them in debt. Then they would tax them, right? And China Boy would allow it. That's why they were talking about whacking China Boy, and they were taxing him. Real deal. I mean, once he got a hold of Chivas, he became a carnal. He thought he owned it. And there were times when I had to have federal intervention, like carnales from the feds. We came down in 1995, and his wife, Nilsa, was telling us we weren't welcome in Artesia, and it belonged to her husband, and that we couldn't function there. And me and Daryl Baca, a night off from Artesia, straight up just sent a message to the feds. It says, we'll be damned if a woman's going to tell us what we can and can't do in our hood. And we actually took over Chivas. They talked to him in there because his wife was pretty much running the crew when he was busted, right? And all due respect to Nilsa, she was a good businesswoman. She had a good business head on her shoulders, and she was protecting her interests. I get that, no hard feelings at all. But I was a carnal, and I did not need permission from a woman to do business. I'm not a misogynist or a chauvinistic guy, right? I'm really not. I appreciate women who have strong business acumen, but this is my business, right? And Smilon and Pee Wee did a straight snake move to insinuate themselves into Artesia, and it caused a lot of problems within the hood.
Got made. So
I'm sorry, I missed that whole part. Who got made?
China Boy.
Oh, okay. He was the guy that was at the meeting, but he wasn't a
Not
carnal
then,
at the time. And he was made by Smilone and Pee Wee.
Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah.
Okay. And simply because he was a good earner.
Yeah, basically.
And were they both out at the time?
Mm-mm.
They were both in.
Yeah, I think they were in the county,
What?
actually.
Was China Boy out or in?
He was out. Because we had, when I was out there, we got a phone call like, hey, what do you think about China Boy? And we said no.
Why?
Because we had already been taking this shit.
Seems like a punk.
Me and Negro. Well, yeah, well, you can. That's the way I felt. Like, nobody took, Gibby couldn't take my shit. I don't know anybody taking Negro shit before. So I'm like, how are we going to make a dude that we just, punked?
Right.
So it wasn't the fact that he wasn't back in his own play, or that's what you were looking at, right? He couldn't hold his own.
That was too easy.
Right, but other than the fact, like you guys were taking, you didn't want to lose a guy. It's like, hey, we've been ripping this dude for how many years? Now we got to make him one. Now we can't do that anymore.
No, we kind of put him to the side. We went.
What he's saying is a serious accusation that they were punking this guy for his money, his dope, whatever it was, and then Pee Wee and Smilon go and make him behind their backs. That's pretty serious, right? If they had let that out, had he lasted long enough, Perico and Negro, long enough to reveal this, China Boy would have been whacked. There's no doubt about it, right? All they had to do was raise opposition, but Perico flipped, and Sammy Villalba, Negro, got put in the hat immediately.
He was from Chivas, so that was Negro's area. But I had went there with Negro before and seen him take his shit. And I even went there one time myself. Said, "Hey, look, you got anything? You know what I mean? Let me get something." And just took it and never paid him back.
Right. So
you know what I mean? And his old lady was the one who actually seemed like she was the one who she would always yell at him and this and that. He's like, "Man, dude's a bitch." You know what I mean? So
you didn't think he was worthy
at all.
You looked at him as a dude.
Yeah.
Did he get made on the outside like you?
He got made on the outside, but from the dude's inside, not out of me.
So it wasn't like when you were out where you had all that meeting everyone there.
Wasn't nothing close to it.
It was just you were told, hey, the dude's in.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the, hey, if one guy says no, then you're out?
Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, and wasn't that kind of like a rule where if they reach out to a carnal and say, hey, we want to make this dude, and somebody says no?
I couldn't tell you. I guess probably when there was more people, when there was a lot of people out here, it's like I guess they figured they didn't need to check in no more with anybody in there.
All right.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Were you inside or outside? He was moving?
I was
You were out.
You said you were out
I
because you
think,
got a
yeah.
call from,
They made him inside and you were out.
Yeah.
well, Smallone and Pee Wee were in LASD
Right.
custody. China Boy was out of custody. And they made a call to you, and you said, no, the guy's a bitch.
Yeah, but it went away. Nothing was done. It was decided within the, I guess, the next week or two or whatever.
Got
Or they got at Topo or somebody just overrid the nose, you know. So
That sounds like
They didn't listen to you, basically.
So, we're talking about a corruption in the induction process, which was happening a lot in that era. Like, guys were getting made. I would go to law library. Hey, this guy's a carnal. Like Stranger when I met him. John Turdzak. They said, this guy's a carnal. I said, all right, cool, I guess, you know. They were making guys left and right. and there was no voting process. Like, a couple carnales would vote, or whoever was there in the pod at the time would vote. And it seems like this was an instance of what was going on. This is corruption in the induction process, because I mean, he's hurling some serious accusations that he was a punk. His old lady used to punk him. That they would take his stuff. That Negro would take his stuff, and he would take his stuff. He did it himself. That's, you know, elimination right there. And I just can't for the life of me think of why they didn't push it. You know what? Here's what I think, is that Smilon and Pee Wee were powerful at the time on the streets, right? They were putting in a lot of work, like serious eliminations. Negro and Sammy Bialba and Ralph Rocha didn't want to create any political waves, right? Because then they would have had a battle, Smilon, Alex Aguirre, and China Boy himself, right? That's like three people against one immediately. And it's not a tenable political situation that you want to be in, right? You don't want to be in that, right? You don't want to be in the bad side where the majority has the vote against you, right? So maybe it was just self-preservation that they didn't bring it up. They just kept their mouth shut, and that was it.
yeah, and we were out there, and
Thank you
actually,
very much for your input.
Did
Have a
they
nice
say
day.
Yeah.
overrode the no?
But-
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
but I think it was too
Yes.
because actually Negro was trying to make Toker.
No, I like it.
That other dude, that casual type of dude, he was trying to make him. And so I was running with Negro and Sleepy and all them. And I know Sleepy used to.
So Toker, I could say the same thing. Actually, Toker was a really good dude. He was on my crew. He used to run Chivas for me. And I actually sent one of my guys down there, and he somehow broke his arm. Toker's arm, right? Because he was coming up short and excuses, and boom, his arm got broken. And I could say the same thing about that, right? And I would have shot him down immediately. I knew his old lady Cynthia. She was pretty hot at the time. I don't know what she looks like now, but at the time she was pretty hot. And she used to come visit me and relay messages to Toker. So I was really good with those folks. And I never knew that Negro wanted to sponsor Toker into the organization, because I would have immediately opposed that.
Used to work China Boy a lot too. So,
He was beneficial.
who? China Boy? Yeah. To Negro and Sleepy. Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably kicking it up to them, and they didn't, they didn't want to lose that gravy train, probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
no question.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, so I get out, we're running around and making money and shit. While I'm starting to get everything back together, doing all the damage control that Gibi had did, because they were just going around kind of not slinging no more. They weren't supplying nobody. They were just taking shit. Whoever was slinging, they were robbing. Everything went down so bad. I mean, there was no
He
money.
be out when you got back out? Still?
No, it wasn't out.
So he was
Yeah,
back in. So you
he
didn't
got a
get to
violation.
confront him at all.
No, I didn't.
Did you ever get that extortion of the local businesses off the ground? Or that just
No,
fell by the
it
side?
never developed.
Yeah.
So all that happened. I'm trying to get everything back on the ground, all off the ground, and I start using again. I get Spanky out there with me. He's using, so it's really nothing's going nowhere. I'm just going around. Whoever got dope, hey, let me get some. You know what I mean? Let me get some money to go buy dope. I'm buying pieces off Champ again from OC. Mike, I get him strung out because he's always with me and Negro. Now he's strung out. And we're like, cool. Now he could buy it. You know what I mean? So we're running around there. I hook up with that broad. We're just going to meetings back and forth. I have ideas about, first idea I have is I gotta fucking clean up. I'm like, man, this ain't, because I see where it's going, nowhere. I mean,
So, I have stills of Perico in a meeting where he's gaunt. He looks sucked up, skinny, and Perico's a big boy. He's a big boy, healthy. He's really healthy. He's cut up, big boy, right? And just to think of them running around totally strung out, hitting connections for dope, and that was it to get well. And a group of carnales doing that, but that's really what the organization's about. It's about substance abuse and 99.9% of the organization uses illegal substances, right? And they have issues with addiction, and you see that, like Rob has mentioned it a few times, that he would go back to using, and I just imagine that they had so much potential to do so much out there, and the drug use played a big role in their squandering it away.
Using all my dope, ain't doing nothing. My fucking old lady's bitching at me all the time. I'm never home. I was going to Mexico with Mike. We'd go down there just to party. He had a house in Rosarito, ride ATCs and shit. But we'd go down there, it'd be no dope. So we'd come back, to get high. And pretty much just doing nothing, just getting high, running around. And I started just seeing, like, man, it's going nowhere, So I started trying to, like, back up and stop. And I remember I had Spanky with me at first, and then he got strung out real bad, and he was using, his old lady was smoking the pipe, so that was going nowhere. It's like, he even I got a piece and had him start slinging. He came up short. I'm like, you know what, oh, fuck it, whatever. Run your own, you know what I mean? So nothing was really working out. So I started to stop using, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta get myself together here and shit. And we're going to meetings, different things were happening here, and off the top of my head, when we're going to meetings, we're just talking about bullshit. Little man, I remember, he was running around doing a bunch of dumb shit. Green lights, green lights that were put on in different barrios, the reasons why. She was getting out of hand, that green light shit.
So you're talking about Little Man Ortiz. He was known for that gangbanging. He was serious gangbanging. Like his hood loved him, right? The guy went out on his shield. I think he lacked the intelligence to get away, right? And he would do these petty crimes like CTA and parole violation and come back and get whacked when he came back, right? And then when he went out, he played the role with his neighborhood that he was an active carnal, so he put green lights on the rival hoods, right? And just a dangerous game he played until it actually cost him his life. I will go into that in an episode at some point, I think we already covered it, actually.
Just shit like that. Dagwood, I think that was about the time Dagwood OD'd in the county. Just a bunch of bullshit,
He's talking about Dagwood. Dagwood was a carnal. Old-time carnal. Veterano, right? He had to turn himself in for some minuscule time he was going to do. He hooped or inserted illicit substances into his rectum, smuggled them in the county jail, and when he's in his cell, the condom or the balloon that they were secreted in burst, and he overdosed. He overdosed, and he never made it out of that little short 10-day stint or whatever.
Most of the time we have the meetings, everybody's so strung out or doing whatever, it's like they're trying to get in and out of there any damn way. You know what I mean? The quicker the
Let me ask you
better.
a quick question on the meetings. Fast forward into, like, say, if we were to get you out and go with our game plan. and you set up meetings, would that kind of discussion take place? Like, who's putting green lights out on who, and who's doing what, and are you following up with this? I mean, is that's stuff that we would be looking for, to have these other guys be talking about, we're taking care of this neighborhood, we're putting a green light out here, we're extorting this group, whatever. Is that kind of stuff is what's discussed at the meetings?
Yeah.
So
Our business.
right. So if we were to, our first goal would be to get you to set up meetings and have that being.
I don't know about at motels though.
No, I'm not talking about where. The dynamics of it we don't have to talk. I'm just saying-
Basically saying, can you facilitate
yeah,
these meetings?
that's what we would
Well,
be looking for.
To go fast forward.
I don't mean to get off that, but
No, I know that to go fast forward. That's what I was telling you guys. That's what once we started coming back around like earlier this year. Those are all the irons in the fire.
So you could see how the investigators are thinking analytically, right? They are thinking 10 moves down the line how they're going to incriminate people, or have people incriminate themselves. Poor choice of words. Have people incriminate themselves in these Mexican Mafia meetings they set up and controlled by a Mexican Mafia member at a location where they'll speak freely. And these Mexican Mafia meetings are all about business. And that's what Perico's saying. He says, yeah. But I think everybody would have been hinky to go to a hotel again. Like, no, who reserved this room? Let's check it first. But I have the videos where he sets up meetings in the future where he meets with the Mongols and the Armenians and the cartel guys. I have all those videos. So as soon as we finish this series, there's one more piece to go. We're going to get into that. We're going to bring out the big guns, folks. Everything they're talking about right now comes to fruition in this investigation. And I think you're going to be amazed, and you're going to love the content that we got coming towards you.
We had all the llaveros. We're already having meetings. I had all the main guys who, all the llaveros, the guys who run the barrios. We're getting lists of everybody who's going to be running for the carnales up there. So, yeah, basically.
So you could do that.
It was supposed to be a lot better than what it used to go.
Right.
More professional.
And that's something you were responsible for, or to some degree, to set that up.
When?
No, when you were out.
This time?
Before you had this little mishap.
Yeah, I'm the one who.
So if you were to get back out, you could resume that.
Yeah, I was the one who pushed that.
Right. Okay.
Ralph, real quick, where were you having the meetings that you did have with the?
I thought you said you knew.
What's that?
I thought you said you knew.
Well,
I'm just asking. That's something I thought about.
Yeah.
Actually,
we don't know of all. I'm not going to sit here and
we'd have them.
say all.
We'd have them at.
I remember they used to have them at parks. They would have like meetings. They had them at Baz's house, which is Topo's mom's house. They'd had them in a few different places. I have actual pictures of that. I'm going to be showing them to you somewhere down the line, and I think you guys will enjoy them.
Monday morning at 10 o'clock. Figured everybody go to church at that time. Nobody would be aware. We'd have them at the house lounge. We'd have them at a body shop in Aulay. And then we started having them. We'd have them in their barrio set them up in a business or something, some location that was safe. That everybody knew was safe. So we took precaution to where we had our meeting, how we had them, make sure all phones are off. There was a lot of detail went into them.
Any meetings at the tattoo shop by the house lounge there?
No.
Just at the house.
It was actually it was in the makings, but they had seen a couple. I guess somebody had seen a couple people driving by or were suspicious that the house lounge was hot and the tattoo shop, so we backed off that. Actually, one of the meetings were going to be there.
Would you have them at how the house lounge is the bar that has a little office? Are the meetings in the office or in the bar?
They were upstairs in the VIP.
In the VIP area. Yeah. Okay. We'll get into all that because that's down the road stuff. But that's good to know because that's probably just so you know kind of what would be coming.
Well, right now
these meetings are what's pretty crucial. What we want to do if we get you out, that's where we would go with that. So
a lot of them could actually, amongst the people, it's not like that. Those, yeah. Like I was telling them, they could be took care of in a car. Because there's only like 4 or 5 carnales out there. And I would make it a point to pick them up and put them in my car. because I knew my car was clean.
Right.
And then I tell them, or we talk about what's to be discussed, and then when we get in there, they discuss it.
Right.
You know.
One more quick side note: the car that the Chrysler. You know, where's that car at right now?
My Chrysler?
Yeah,
I don't know. At home?
should be at home.
Yeah. Why?
Well, someone thought they might have seen it
Where?
somewhere else
When?
after you got locked up. It's probably a different car.
There's a lot of Chryslers.
Oh, I know.
That's why I liked it.
But that should be back at the pad.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It had to be, yeah. Nobody else uses it, just Janelle and the kids. So,
Right.
yeah.
It's 4 o'clock now. Do you want to?
How you hanging in there?
Body break?
A smoke break, potty break, all
It's
that.
almost dark and trustees are locked up, man. So,
You want to go to? I mean, you want to go to 5? That way it'd be pretty dark out to get your smoke. and
Yeah, that's
stuff
cool.
We're going to come back next week because obviously we're getting into the more significant stuff that we want to.
Sunday morning.
So that was one of the cool things about Walnut. You can go outside and have a cigarette. Just put your leg chains on, and you go out there and have a little area on the side of Walnut. They have a mobile range. It's right next to a preschool. I used to go out there and smoke cigarettes and just chill in the night air. You have your visits out there. It's a pretty well situated place, and it's in a really nice neighborhood. So nobody would think that federal informants or cooperators were being housed there. It's just so low key because it's a low traffic substation, right? But it is in a beautiful, beautiful area. It's Walnut, California, and there's $1 million homes everywhere you look, right? Like, and now you probably multi-million-dollar homes because those houses are gorgeous and huge. And I remember that. I remember going out on smoke breaks and chilling out there and eating dinner and having In-N-Out. They had an In-N-Out across the street. In fact, the FBI agent, my very first FBI handler, Glenn K. Hotema, when they brought me down from Pelican Bay, brought me In-N-Out from across the street. And I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but it was when I was there. So it's really nice. I mean, if you had to be in jail, might as well be Walnut, right? And he's talking about some of the things they accommodate him with, right? Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing illegal, nothing like that, right? Because they have to protect the integrity of their witness, right? One of the things that the investigators are really astute on is not compromising his integrity, right? In the past, they would let you do almost anything, right? And they would facilitate it. But these are new times where you have a United States attorney affixed to the case, and he wants to know everything that you get because it's going to be disclosed in trial. And they're going to say that you got special treatment, you got conjugal business, you got this, you got that, you got the other, and they have to be on their game to prevent any impeachment of their source, right?
Talk about, but we're obviously not getting everything done today. But we have time with the court thing that was set up to be able to meet with you. We'll probably need one more day to finish this.
Actually, we'll probably be because now I'm going to get arrested and do a 12-year stench, and then I'm going to be out for the next 3 years. So it's pretty much almost over.
there was some stuff that occurred when you were locked up, though. I guess. I mean, really some decisions and
Yeah.
things
yeah.
that were
Let
put
me
out
let me
there, so
let me
that's-
stop this and start it again. Hold on. It's 15:56 hours.
There you have it, folks. We have completed one of the very last segments of Periquito. We have one more segment to go, folks. One more. This is actually a really good segment, man. This is a humdinger for real. And, you just look at him when he laughs and he smiles. It's just gregarious, right? He's a likable guy. And I relate to the guy, I relate to the guy. And I know he's in a difficult situation in this debrief. So you got to look at it like, okay, the guy's he's in a jam. He's making his best business decision. The best business decision he ever made in his life. He made it right here, getting out of the organization. And that's one of the things about this channel, right? I got a couple of comments. How do you make a positive message out of your channel, right? My message is this, is that if you choose that life, you're going to spend the rest of your days in prison. So the choice is not to get involved in criminal activity and gangs and the Mexican Mafia. I'm not here to talk bad about those guys. I'm really not. You know, I don't have a personal beef with them or vendetta or nothing like that, right? The whole thing is to keep people from participating in this. And even those guys that are involved now, if they could just see that there's an alternative life, right? There's peace on the other side of this. It's going to take a while to get there, you know, particularly if you're incarcerated, if you're going to make parole, you got to meet the requirements of the board. But even if you never get out, there's peace in not participating in violence. And that's the positive message, right? It's change your life. That change is possible, and I'm a shining example of that. That if I can change, then anybody can change. All right, folks, with that said, you know what to do. Like, hype, leave a comment. Enjoy your day. Stay tuned for Perico's last episode. Peace out.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Uncensored.